Hello guys, my name is Khan, and in today's video we will discuss that how you can link R or R Studio to Power BI, and we will discuss that why is it important or how useful it is to link R to Power BI. So one of the reason of linking R to Power BI is that you can easily import data into Power BI. You can easily import multiple data frames or data sets into Power BI with the help of R. And the second thing will be that it will be so suppose if you are good in R, then you don't need to learn data manipulation in Power BI. You can first manipulate the data within R, and then you can link R to Power BI, and then you can use your manipulated data in Power BI in terms of by data manipulation I mean that you can merge data sets in R, or you can create new variables in R, or you can do whatever machine learning analysis in R, and then after applying those analysis in your data set, then you can import those data frames over which you have done some analysis or have created new variable or data point. Then you can import those data sets or data frames into Power BI very easily into Power BI. So what I will do, I will first quickly show how you can do that. So again, I will go to my search. I will look for Power BI. So this is the app we are using. So while it's my laptop is loading Power BI desktop. So meanwhile, I will also, so this is the script file that I will be using for Power BI. So if you guys are not familiar with R, then I think this video is mainly about for those users, viewers or the audience that have some experience in R. But even if you don't know R much, so don't worry, I will try to cover things that make you feel comfortable. So this is the script file in the R is like a code file where you write down your command. So I will open this file for you guys, but meanwhile I will also show you one more thing in that folder. So this is the folder I am using for this video, which is link R to Power BI. Actually, in the code file, which is in the R, which I have used in the R, I will be importing these datasets: CSV dataset, Excel dataset, RDS data, Stata data. So these are different data formats or data types that I have. So in R, it becomes a bit easy. So because R also allows you to import datasets into R, which are maybe not supported by the Power BI. Even then, you can use R too. So my Power BI is there. So, but I will go to my code file. So this is the script file. I will maximize into a separate window. So I will quickly go to introduction. So whatever you will do in your code file, which is this file, as you can see, it will appear here, or all the results will show you in the console, and all the data frames that we will create through this code will appear in our global environment. And then there are other tabs which are not much related to this video. And if you guys want to know more about R, there is also a video set that I have made related to R. So you can also search for those videos too. So what I will do, the first thing is that my first data set that I am using, so I have defined the working directory. Working directory means that where my data is located. So my data is located in this folder. So the first data set I am using is in a CSV format. And as you can see, I also named the CSV underscore data. So in order to import that data set, I am using this read.csv function. So this function is calling this data set from the given folder, and then after importing that data set, which was in CSV format, I assign that uh, data to a data object named as also CSV underscore data. So let's see if I execute this code till line number 10, Control Shift Home and then Control Enter. Now if I go to my main window of the R, you can see there is a data object get created here. So the important thing to note here is that in R you can create tables, you can create summary statistics, you can create vectors, you can create matrices. But while you will be copying this code to your Power BI, the Power BI will only help you to extract the data frames or the data sets that you will construct in R. So by mean data frames, this CSV underscore data which I have created here. So once I copy this code to my Power BI will allow me to extract this part of this data set from this code, and you can add multiple data sets into your data frame. So for example, so this is the data set. If I click this arrow button, it will show me a bit summary of my data. It's showing me that these are the variables in my data. So if I double click it, it will allow me to view the data. So this is the data that I have imported. But suppose in R can also allow you to import a subsection of the data. So let's see. So here I have given you an example in which I have just extracting few variables. So this is the data frame, but here I have specified the which variables I want to extract. Here the first, under these straight brackets, there is missing here. It's mean that I want to import all the data, but after that I specify the variable name to tell R that I only want these two variables from this CSV data. So now if I do that, but here important thing is that I change the object name. Now I have second data object, CSV underscore data and CSV underscore data 2. So now if I control shift home and control enter to execute the code, now if I go and if I minimize it, now you can see that I have two data set. Here the important thing is, initially I was having 12 variables, now I have 2 variables only. So now what I will show you guys that so suppose if I copy this data, go to my Power BI, and I will say, so I'm clicking the option get data. So previously I really used to import data through Excel or CSV or text file, but if you scroll down here under, you can see that there are options related to R script too. Here you can see that there is an option related to R script, but the important thing is that not only R script, there are many other options like Python script, Hadoop file. So this is a very strong feature of Power BI, because if you are good in, suppose in Hadoop or in Python or in R, then you can even use your coding skills in those tools to manipulate data, and then you can use those scripts in Power BI. So now if I click this option R script, and then I will say connect. So it will open a window which will allow me to, so here I can copy paste my code here. So what I will do, but before copy pasting the code into Power BI, make sure that your code don't have any error, otherwise Power BI will also give you an error. I will copy it here, paste it here, and now if I set OK, it will probably create 2 data frames for me in Power BI. I will say OK. It's connecting. If it gets successful, I will be able to see 2 data frames under my fields. So okay, I will select both. As you can see, CSV data have 2 variables, CSV underscore data have 12 variables low. So now you can see that I'm able to import data frames into Power BI with the help of R script. And here you can see that I have all the variables from this data set, and here I have a segment of the data set from R script. I will delete these two datasets again, just because I will be using the same data script again, but with new example. So otherwise, if I don't delete it and use the same script, it will create the copy of the same dataset, which I don't want, and I don't want to confuse you guys again. So I will just simply delete them, and also delete the second one. Delete. Now, if I go back to my code, so currently in the first CSV underscore data frame, I imported all the data. Then I have shown you that how you can import just a segment of the data. But suppose you also want to limit the number of rows which you want to import into Power BI. Then even in R you can do that. So I just want to import the first 20 rows of my data, and I just want to import these two variables. So actually I'm going a bit quick in this video because I'm assuming that you have some knowledge of R before. So here the sequence means that I just want to import the rows number 1 to 20. So let's see if I execute this line, control enter, and if I look, you can even hear that I have created my third data, CSV underscore data 3, which have 20 observation and 2 variable. So even so this is another example in which you can use R to import a segment of the data according to your need into Power BI. And here, before going further, on line number 21, even in R, what you can do, you can import dataset and you can add new variables. So I am giving you an example. So suppose if I imported this dataset CSV, so if you look at the line 17, I imported 2 variables from my data and assign it to a CSV underscore data 2. But after that, I assigned a new variable, which is the logarithmic of rep 78. This dataset is about car, so don't get confused. So I'm just taking a log of a numeric variable. This variable was already there in my CSV underscore data 2. So currently, if you go back to this CSV underscore data 2, I just have 2 variables. But if I apply this, if I do this, execute this line 2, I will be having 3 variables in my data. So let's say Control Shift Home and then Control Enter. Now if you go look at towards CSV underscore data 2, I have 3 variables. Even if I click it, you can see it here. I have 3 variables, and my third variable is actually the natural log of rep 78. So once you applied or manipulated data, okay, then you can even extract that data set to your Power BI. So now let's say if I copy these 3, the code till line number 29. So till line number 29, I have created 3 data frames or data sets in R. So if I copy this data set, and now and important thing is that the second data set that I have created, I also have created an additional variable in that data set with the help of R. So if I copy this now and if I paste it into my Power BI, again I will go to my get data and I will be selecting R script. There is the option connect, and I will be pasted my data. And now if I say OK, so now I will select my CSV data first, then second. The important thing is that when I selected second data, it's giving me a preview of my data. Here you can see that it's showing me my third variable too, which I have created in R, which was not initially there in my original data set. And then so in that so that's one of the examples through which you can add a variable. Even you can drop rows in R2, or you can even apply further analysis of your data and then you can use that data frame to visualize or tabulate in Power BI. And then my third data set, which is just two columns and 20 observation. Load. So the good thing about using R script is that suppose if you already have expertise in R, then you don't need to, there is not much need to learn the coding language behind Power BI, which is DAX. So if you need to manipulate or data, you can do it in R and then can simply link R script to Power BI. So now you can see I have 3 of my data set here. And again, I will just briefly show these are the 12 variables. Here we have 3 variables, and here we have 2 variables, because we have designed a script in R according so that we are able to get these kind of data frames in Power BI. So again, currently I have just shown you that how you can import data into Power BI with the help of I have just shown you that how you can import data into R, but currently I have just given you an example of the CSV file. But R is very diverse. You can import data from different data types. So now, if you have to import data from Excel, so you can use read.excel, but we will be using this library, and then. I'm doing the same thing, that I'm just trying to segment the data by giving here. I'm trying to say that just import the first 4 columns of that data set, which is in Excel, and assign it to a Excel_data2. And here I'm saying just extract the first, second, fifth, and sixth column and extract it to data3. So sometimes when you will be dealing with very big data and you will like to extract just the limited amount of information into Power BI or into R, so at that stage R scripting will really help you, and once you'll be able to extract a smaller chunk of your data from a very big data set, it will also improve the efficiency of your dashboards in Power BI too. And then I have also given here an example that you can also read data from a stata format, which is .dta. And then I also have given one example that how you can read a data frame which is in the R format, which is the RDS. So these are the script things examples. So suppose if I control all these scripts and copy it. But before copying it to Power BI, make sure that you don't get any error. So I said Control A and then Control Enter to execute the code. Now if I go to my main window in R, so I got some warning messages that related to that the version is a bit older, but other than that I didn't get any error. So it's mean that I'm ready to copy that code into Power BI. But here the important thing to see that in global environment, I have under my data, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 data sets that I have created through that script, and I have manipulated a bit those data frame. So now if I go to my Power, before going I will just Control All and Control Copy. And then I will go to my Power BI again, just to make sure. I will just delete these 2 data sets. If I don't delete it, and if I just copy the script again in Get Data option, then it will create a copy of the same data set, because I am using the same script again. So I will be just deleting, so it will be easier to check in the end. So delete. So now I will go to Get Data. Again, I will go to R script and I will say Connect. And here under my script, I will Control V, which is the complete script, and OK. So in R, I have shown you guys that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 data sets. So if I go to my Power BI now, it must have created 8 data frames. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Then say load. So once the loading will be complete, hopefully we will see 8 data sets under my field. So in this way, you can easily import data into Power BI with the help of R script, and you can even manipulate data. You can segment your data with the help of R script, and especially if you already know R or R Studio scripting, then you don't need to learn much about the DAX, which is the kind of a syntax language of Power BI. So you can simply do all of your manipulation already in R, and then use R script to link your data frames, and then you can just simply visualize your data easily into Power BI. So here again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 data frames under my fields, so everything is fine. So this is all about that, how you can link R to Power BI. Thank you for watching the video.